guys, I'm just here to tell you that Rich is going to be away for a little while, so for this week, we've got a guest host. When thinking about who we wanted, we decided to go for someone who wasn't going to divide the opinions of the fans as much as Richard did. Someone polite, caring, and sympathetic to fellow fans. So, for 1 week only to discuss why Russell T Davies was just so gosh darn good as a writer, here's Tony... Oh.
Right, that is not happening. I'm in charge now. Roll my credits! Right, everybody in their cat at the moment is saying Doctor Who's been on our screens for 50 years, which isn't exactly true. While it started 50 years ago, it's only been on our screens for 36 years. Everyone seems to forget the 1989 to 2005 gap called the Wilderness Years. The Wilderness Years were a very strange time to be a Doctor Who fan, both bleak and joyful at the same time. It's really hard to explain. This entire era can be split into two sections, pre-TV movie and post-TV movie era. The pre-TV movie era saw the introduction of the Virgin New Adventures, a series of books continuing the Seventh Doctor's adventures after survival. By modern standards, they're kind of odd. Virgin realised their target audience wasn't kids anymore, so they shifted the focus onto more adult-oriented stories. This resulted in deeper, darker stories. The problem is they occasionally went to tortured levels of adult. Reading some of Ace's scenes in this is like reading 50 Shades of Grey. We also have Doctor Who magazine keeping the fans interested in the show throughout this period, and radio plays and informative books. We even got the superb documentary 30 Years into Us, which even to this day can draw a tear from my shriveled up black heart. However, the one thing fans wanted was Doctor Who back on TV, and sadly, in 1993, that's what we got. Dimension Time is a strange thing to watch, full of plot holes, awful dialogue, and the decapitated heads of the first two Doctors. The amazing thing is, John Nathan Turner, seen here looking like a badly centurion, says this story is canon. He even gave it a production code. After 1996 we had the post-TVM era, named so because of the period after the Paul McGann movie, which I really liked, but a lot of people didn't. Whereas the pre-TV movie era was defined by people wanting Doctor Who back on TV, the post-TV movie era, well, didn't care. We were happy with what we had. Whether it was the VHS releases, or the official BBC licensed books, or the slightly crappy but ultimately level Dapple figures. We didn't have televised Doctor Who, but we didn't care, because Doctor Who magazine were giving away a free poster! Coming up to the 40th anniversary, we were laughing. Not only had a new company called Big Finish set up, which were making Doctor Who stories with classic actors, but also we were getting a full-length animated adventure. Scream of the Shark was a fantastic story. Not only was the plot good, but it gave us a new Doctor played by Richard B Brookes, who had a fantastic mix of dark and light elements to him. He was moody, but there's also a touch of humour to his voice. With Shalka and an online ebook, The Feast of the Stone, it seemed Richard B. Grant was the official 9th Doctor. That wasn't until he wasn't. Yeah, just after Scream of the Shark was broadcast online, it was announced Doctor Who was getting a big TV revival with Christopher Eccleston as the new Doctor. Sadly, this meant Shark was just shoved into a corner like an unwanted child. Now, my memory's awful, so in order to keep things fair, I'm going to watch an episode of the revived Doctor Who. I've chosen an episode with David Tennant, because apparently, according to an online poll, he's the best Doctor. I missed the Wilderness Years. Screw it, I'm going to watch Dimension Time.